So we're gonna talk about เขาก็ให้จะขอเองก็ขอ proper
Proper funeral, uh-huh.
ในจิมูลี like what will be missing that you or อีตัวหนึงyou learn in the next lifeเสียเตor
disabilities and
and you learn in a different body ชีวิตนึงแต่ชีวิตปัญญา or vice versa yeah can you tell us a little bit more
Would these be superstitions as well, or?
yes, it can be superstitions as well. You know? So I always when we talk about this, sometimes each one is very sensitive to and if you don't really know, so if you don't really practice the tradition, if you don't do the rituals, and if you're not a practitioner. And you really don't have the answer for it, then you can't answer it, right? And some people tend to use how reason that this is taboo. I'm not allowed to talk about that, right? As an educator, there's when you guys want to know, I want to be able to give you the best possible answer that makes sense to you, you know. So next time you go your like I always say, like as an anthropologist, they always say that there's no question, no such question that are stupid question. You know, as a you have to take off your father head, your mother head, your teacher head, your professor head, and you have to go back to be a 3-year-old. To ask a 3-year-old question, to get a professional answer. So, like, people always ask me, like, is there scientific proof of reincarnations?
Right.
Is there a scientific proof that, this is, if you don't do funeral this way, your family lineage or your descendants gonna end up like this way, right?
Yeah.
Of course not. There's no scientific proof. Right? If you want to talk about scientific proof, research proof, no,
very hard.
This is like faith and belief. It's just, if you ask me, like, it just, even the president told them what they call a inauguration, like, in God we trust, right?
right
So a perfect example, if we talk about religion, the faith, the belief, there's always gonna be a debate. That's individually. I think our ancestor whoever create their purpose is to unite, to preserve, to teach, and to make sure that like your descendant is, even though we lost our land to the Chinese emperor, even though we're like almost gone extinct, right? But whoever create believe practice to pay from birth to death, attention is good. But as time go by, as time pass by, is the individual that or pay or not. So that's why I always say that when there's something wrong in the Hmong community, don't blame Hmong culture. Don't say, because the Hmong culture is like that. There's a lot of drinking at funeral or weddings. That has nothing to do with Hmong culture. Like, I always tell this to my students, like, right now, what I'm seeing as a practitioner is like, we focus more on the social piece more than the spiritual piece. We focus, like from funeral weddings, we focus more on what make a human happy than what does make sure the soul is rest and peace. So they make sure it's necessary for the social peace be done, but we forgot to focus on the spiritual peace to be done. You know, so because as long as we just do it, there's no proper way today because there's no book, no Bible. We don't have a standardized
Way of doing
way
it.
of
Yeah.
to follow it. So we just do whatever we feel like. We feel like we're happy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? So that's why I think a lot of younger generation learn shit that pay a tàu more, pay cut down, pay a more, but you have to cut down this and that, and to make sure that cost less and so on and so forth. And I always said that, you know, you go your mong take a jeng the amount you play na and go jeng sa practice mong you know na. Then you have to before you go highland have you study? Have you go back and look at it? Have you you know understand why certain things are done in a certain way to be called a proper funerals, you know. Because psychologically it will affect to not you but so there's no one chỉ tao mới cho kiến chứng nhận để này một trăm tu chứng chứng là một trăm tỏ bao giờ tế tất cả lọc hết tao bây để tỏ là nhau dùng giả right
Yeah.
chỉ tao mới khó prove hay để yeah cũng một bỏ bây giờ bao giờ mà là nhau dùng nó là giờ cũng một bỏ vắt chữ nhau nó right it's all up here. That's why thế lo lụt để ya chứng thế chứng là nè ya chứng là nửa lo được số lo lụt hay để yang là nè yang là the luôn nu nè the bright side. Okay ya chứng right.
Okay.
The reality, the reality is what is reality? Reality is that okay, we know that there's a bottle of water, right? We could touch and we can drink. That's yajing. I could see you. I could talk to you. We have a physical being, right? With our soul. Yin Jing is the imagination side, the dark side, the side that you can't go there until you took your last breath.
Okay.
You know. So Yang Jing is Sake Sa, Sake Jing, their faith, their belief, their religion, you know. But why is Sha Yang Jing is so important? Because if Sha Yang Jing is not properly done, it's gonna affect Sha Ya Jing. You know. So for example, if you're at a funeral and your aunt come in and say, "Dude, that's not how you do a proper funeral." Guess what? If you don't care, then it's not gonna affect you, right? But after you got buried, you got father, if you think, well, why did my aunt say that? What did I do wrong, right? It's going to affect you for the rest of your life. Psychologically, it's going to take a toll on you slowly, you know, spiritually, you know. So, but Hmong Lu funeral, I think biggest misunderstanding, their conception right now is that they always thought that there's only one way to do. Like you both there's an alternate way to do that. It depends on your budget, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, doesn't matter. Let's take out the coffin. Lu ngay chế khó lu lê cho a fee for lu funeral. Tiếc ngay tuôn đó. Còn đâu mà có sự muốn chân cho tư là những tao thể tan thôi nữa, right?
Yep.
But if we just focus on the spiritual necessary piece. It doesn't cost that much. Because no traditional funeral, there's no drinking involved, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, there's no like, oh, you have to serve coffee, you have to serve phở or coffee or kopong, or you have to, you know.
Have snacks out there.
There's none of those, you know? A very plain, authentic Hmong traditional Hmong funeral, like I done it with $5,000.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's like unheard of in America here.
Yeah, but that funeral we don't. There's like zero alcohol though, only water, you know.
Yeah.
And so there's like I always use this analogy as like okay, it's okay a takamu reincarnation it's only there's different airlines you could choose.
Oh, okay.
And there's different class. Do you want a minimum? Do you want an economic class for your dad or your mom?
Yeah.
Or do you want a business class? Or do you want to upgrade to first class?
Okay.
It's flexible.
Yeah.
If you just want what is the minimum I don't care how my dad and my mom get there, but as long as they get there, right? Properly, right?
Yeah.
I don't want them to walk, or I don't want them to go on a boat or a ship. It's gonna take them 3 months to get to the birthplace, but I want
Okay.
I want them to get them fast, but I want a minimum package, right?
Okay.
That it's only gonna cost you like I said, the spiritual piece now is only gonna cost you like $5,000. You know, if you take out all the other
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are not.
The necessaries.
Yes. Yeah. So, but if you say no, my mom, my dad, I want them to have business class. Then of course it's gonna cost more, right?
Right.
Because they're gonna be more animal to butcher. You're gonna invite more people, and of course you have to prep more food and more water, right? Then yes. But if you say, oh, I want to do a first class funeral for my mom, my dad, because I want them to be comfortable and have enough space, you know, have enough, you know, so make sure that they have bigger suitcase with their luggage. They have
Okay.
servants to help them.
Yeah.
Then of course it's gonna cost more,
Yeah.
right? So it's just the add-on that is cost you more. So that's why there's only one way to do a proper funeral. No, there's multiple ways to do it. But you have to find the right person to conduct your funeral. The person that are, like I said, have integrity and have the authority and have the responsibility and the understanding of okay, what's your budget? Okay, if your budget is 25,000, we use 20,000 for like everything, like basically 5,000 all called spiritual peace.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, I might be a little bit off the topic here, but it doesn't matter if Lule knew your a certain material too.
No.
Didn't it matter at all?
No, 主要係什麼?
Because
I mean, traditionally, I prefer to show
which is actually
those smelling woods, you know, those strong
okay.
smell. They're more to show
yeah.
Because those like they are, because they just start a little body, because you got for to show je told, just for je got you no. Because ants don't like those smell too,
Yeah.
right? So that's called spiritual reason, that common sense reason, because they just got more insect here, worm go into the look coffin.
Right.
Because back in the old days, more look smana.
Okay.
They bury with the wood casket.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. So nowadays it's better if it doesn't matter, but
Yeah, too much matter. Actually, they other family they don't matter.
it doesn't matter to some families.
It depends. That's why I said it depends on that family.
Oh, because
you know?
I saw a post where they were arguing about not wanting any metal on the
Oh, that's different. Metal and plastic are not supposed to go inside.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
metal to plastic na nu luch tao na.
Also, let's talk huh?
Let's talk a
Oh, okay. So what happens if that is the case?
If there's metal and plastic na che you nu mo oli cha to on tu tin hang the lu che tu tin hang the lu che are not able to lu tan to eng. It's kind of like mong kho kan se che thầu có yu lo na che có she natural resource from the ana. So thầu có tua che có tuần du plim that she have to give back to the ana.
I see.
So you got more low thêm more ya che you cannot give back your full body to the ana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So and then especially it's gonna cost you got more low thêm more metal thêm ya nhân được có tuần hang the disease the low body na. Che nu cho descendant che only pota có hai teo nu more blind, nu more disabilities. You know, it depends on which part of the body.
Yeah.
You know.
So they gotta take. They gotta take all that out.
Yes.
Dang.
Wow.
So.
Interesting. Now, what about like when we're talking about as but in the past life you were ituponya, vice versa. What's the case with that?
Like I said, everything come up pair, right?
Yeah.
ป้อนเนี่ยมาเนี่ยeven number นะ so long story short จีนึงya odd number so like if you're doing a funeral for your father right you cannot dress him with even clothes
There's even closes too.
no like you cannot dress him like
Even number of people? Okay.
no even number of clothes like you cannot in the coffin you cannot have four pairs of clothes
Okay.
you have to have either 1 3 or 5
Okay.
for men for women you have to have 2 4 or 6 so because women like to give birth they always come in like even number นะhọ bây giờ men they pay to give birth they pay odd nữa nè
Okay.
so if you got cheap na it got more got dress in odd number 了 นะ for example like if your mom have 3 pants and 3 shirts for example นะ
Okay.
if you want to no you need to find one more your mom had to have 4 pants and 4 clothes no yeah then when she reincarnate she gonna feel ni tunju please sa de ji nang na even though ni tunju please po ne na
Yeah.
so ni reincarnate into lu ji nang lu body la na
Okay.
so ni gonna end up ni ji nang na right
Yeah. Okay, so this is off that topic, but related to passing away as well. We just had people ipa crew, so the more the point you and your siana, that she is siamanity your natural causes or anything that she units on it's a shiana.
yep suicide
Yes.
the accident
And now in that scenario, how do they approach that? How do they take that, and what happens in the next?
well you're not supposed to tí tiêm mà you đánh tới thế you trong phòng lại cha mà you chủ nhỏ có tàn này vậy hay là có cho xử lý có there's two type you thì có die of tragic as chết sinh đầu na rồi tí năng tua con that's different còn là có thì nu chỉ chua taboo law because it's not like you have a choice right
Right.
hay là thì có cho xử thế có tụ kinh này that's more in the spiral it will cost more cash to có tụ giúp plea thế có khó journey thế cóจะ descendant nè
Okay.
because you thầu có một cho bé gì lời điều we don't want this kind of problem lo cho bé khó lineage nữa nè we don't want this to if we upset you as our grandkids, thầu có một số có ancestor na, and you are not dying of a natural cause, but you're dying because you kill yourself, right? Then they're gonna say that no, we don't want you because if we want you and you reincarnate, then our lineage is gonna continue that trend of having one person, a family member, gonna commit suicide all the time.
Okay.
And that's what happened. That when the ancestors have no choice, they will accept the soul into the lineage, and that's why that lineage always continue to have one person every generation to commit suicide. Or and then if you don't do something about it, it's gonna go from 1 to 2 to it's gonna keep double up.
Also multiply.
Yes, it multiplies at each generation.
That's kind of what is going on.
Until that lineage stop. Go extinct na ya. So that's why if a family, if there's a family that have one person that because of commit suicide, that's why you want to make sure that in the funeral, you make sure to have those practitioners that know how to remove those a way to remove your curse your misfortune, your negative energy
So ying mo
each your verse, each your ritual need to be done so the soul they tun chu plin the nu transform la ma long mu don't the shan chu natural cause instead of committing suicide.
Okay. Wow.
But that you have to find the right funeral conductor, the funeral, the practitioner.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I got a totally off topic one, but so thinking of like afterlife and stuff, what is the like what are we crossing to? Where are we going? What's the land? What are they going towards?
I will send my thesis to Nanyang na.
Okay.
Theo khảo video. So mong li ma mong jeng de pe mo pe tu ming so no ya. Pe tu ju pli na. Okay. So after life ma that's why the funeral had to done it properly, in order na for that three ming soul to find its way back home no na. So once the first one is the genetic soul. The genetic soul is belong to your ancestor. So that one go and live with the ancestor in the ancestor world.
Okay.
Okay. The second one is the life and strength souls, and that one is the one that went back to like the immigration gate, and wait there until the third soul is so the third soul is the bamboo tea tree soul, So that one stay with the body to the went to the graveside, and that one when got him so after got what also releasing ceremony, that one returned home to become it don't wander it lost soul out there it do hunger so if that one are able to return home, then the reincarnation soul will come back and reborn. And then the one at the ancestor will have a status there.
Okay.
So if this one are not able to come back and like if the third one, if you got you work and he cannot return home to be got your ancestor spirit and your then the reincarnation cannot reincarnate. And then the one at the ancestor world will not be able to have a status.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a more deeper thought type of thing.
So going back
History.
to the whole question, put that there. What if that family or that lineage keep continue to have like KS or like
Yeah.
keep continue to more to commit suicide or you keep continue to more a disability kids in there, maybe one of those three so can't return home, So it's not completely formed now. So
Okay. Do you have any more questions, Jimmy?
I mean, just like the mythical side of it, right? Like, what are the origins of, like, I don't know. Ooh, I think we'll get too deep, and I don't think we have enough time for it. But like, the Hmong What's the origins? How do we even split off? How do we even?
that's gonna be another topic.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to detail, but long story short,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mong đời thì mong lành tiệt tiệt cho thủ cho ý tu thế nào. Tại sao mà họ bị split như vậy? Because of the war and trong đi bây giờ mong ít ba một nhỏ nhá là thôi ít ba nhỏ sẽ thôi này nhỏ. We split because of miscommunication, misunderstanding, because of we want power, we want status, we want money,
Yeah.
So they split up because of that.
Okay.
So my last question is if you're a person, right, and you take a life, now, what happens to that person when he passes away? How do they approach that?
Are you talking about you or the person that died?
The person who died.
The person who died and they killed someone. So the person that died, he was a murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they?
How do we send him back home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably don't send him back
Is
home.
there-
Probably just send him down.
Is there a certain way that a proper way to bury certain, like a
Okay,
a
hold on.
criminal?
Are you talking? Okay, so có Hmong, right?
yeah, cái mong
Có một tuổi tụi mình cả đời nào biết không?
chưa mấy cái đó hết ta chỉ có tuổi to other life
Just somebody. Yes, you just kill somebody.
and then the new chocolate funeral nó
Uh-huh.
we always chặt con nó
Yeah.
that way we still nó là nữ chiến năng nữa nhưng mà cho chẳng lúc nữ cho mất chiến nữa
Uh-huh.
they're able to what look proper funeral tao cho nữ mà but nếu lúc gì mà thằng một cho số
Yeah.
that's when
Oh.
like cho nên họ nói chỉ một chạy gì đâu nữa nè
Uh.
đó là thằng một cho số như vắt từng á thầu lúc immigration gate á they'll say you can't reincarnation even though you have a proper funeral because you commit a crime now
I see.
you know cho là cho nên một
He
tăng
already
gì là
caught up, yeah.
and that again going back to the question that gonna cause chaos to your family lineage đó nè because you reincarnation tao chỉ là chỉ một miễn gì thế nè
Okay.
yeah
Yeah. So we don't have much time here. And my last thing is, what is a good verse that you could say? Li la chalu saina, la chalu la hai li
chỉ sai đó chỉ sai đó
不要只sai，再la hai chalu就中就lo te na.
oh yeah chỉ sai mà chỉ blessing nè
What is a blessing that you can say so that the audience can take that and
Be blessed.
be blessed with it?
well like I said mong li je broad principle yeah cho chỉ sai đó chỉ even the love sing all night đó là core principle chỉ là những hai tia có một tu một kỹ yeah có một nó một hậu có một nhiều một chia một công một bên là that's the main core
Okay.
of the core blessing nè
Okay.
yeah.
So, what would you say to the audience out there? What kind of blessing do you have for them? Maybe advice, maybe
Kind of. What do they call those? Like it's like a poetry.
Yeah, it's very poetic.
yeah.
Proverbs.
Is
Yeah, it's
Proverbs,
Proverbs.
Can you say one?
Like actual, you want me to actual singing?
Oh, not saying,
No,
but
say
like
one.
just say the word.
Oh yeah, like so if
like
yeah.
toka kite.
one for the struggling people.
For like toka kite, you know how you're saying good things.
actually kite is not a Hmong thing. Kite is we borrow from the oceans.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
kite เขาคิดแต่ตำห้องเต็งมาเฮียเขาสามันคิดซะเขาจะเขาไปว่าปลีคิดแต่เนื้อที่ไปชวนแต่จะไปบาร์แล้ว
Oh, okay.
yeah แต่สิจะ blessing ยิ่งหายยามายิ่งหายเดีย
Yeah. Can you say one of the blessings for us?
yeah like the oh นู่นนอรงนู่นอย่านู่นนอรงยังกูอีหลังตัวเที่ยจ่อเสียก่อนหลังตัวเที่ยก่อนจ่อจ่องายังก็ยังหัวตัวเจ้าจ่อลัวเนาะมัวเชิญก็รู้ดารู้จ่อfor example เห็นหนึ่งมอนะอย่าเจก็เด็กนู่นนอมัวเจียมัวสูรอหูก็ตุนจุกตุปลีเจตาการหล่อย้อนทอเหนียนทอจีนทอจานทอเชิญทอจุนทอเตอเจก็มัวเสียมัวจ่อเจต่อจ่อลองแกหายจ่อนช้าเจต่อมัวเสียงแกหามัวจ่อก็จีมัวมัวเก่งจีละนะซึ่ง so
Okay.
yeah
Yeah.
so those are like basic key day blessing from into any sick any ตาการจงหล่อนะ
Okay.
yeah
I usually love those stuff though because they have really good verbs and then they have good poetry along with it.
Do you have any last final words for the audience? Maybe some words of advice?
by everywhere everywhere I go and what presentation talk I always tell this to my followers to my audience and I always say รู้นั่งอย่าไปลีนะจะเรามาเลยวิช่วยอยากแต่ฉันไปอยู่อ้วมูตอนเด็กนั่นน่ะ for ไปที่ไปจะมีวันน่ะไป we always say don't repeat history that should we always repeat history ขึ้นน่ะย่อwe always จีไปมองขอ added to a จีจงเกียแต่ฉันกุศลก็ไปชอบอ้วยขอไปจี address to elephant in the room นะ you know
Okay.
right
Yeah.
because ไปบอกเรื่องที่เจนเจโรไปบอกเรื่องที่ให้ไปจี like เช้าหนึ่งน่ะ
Yeah.
ไป always like no ไปหมด always
okay,
storm
yeah,
ซึ่งอะไรอ่ะ
yeah.
ฮะไปจีเช้าหนึ่งก็ไปหมดเตาน่ะไป always like always เทียอีอยากได้จีเรา critique ที่เรามันหนึ่งจอก่อนไอ้หนึ่งมุดเตาน่ะ yeah I think ไปจอดหัว I think we had to bây giờ chủ tao change her mentality nữa nè you know it doesn't matter they có chia cú sinh có chia cú brother sister lo is your con đấy có họ có kinh nè con đấy họ bây bỏ thì có ở tàu thì ở giờ nó we have to support you lúc nâng giờ bây giờ lùa li chưa cho lâu li nè cho lâu là hậu thế là tiệt tới tả so we bây giờ muốn bỏ chút nhà của sao bây giờ lùa chỉ xong muốn bỏ thầu em mới khó tới bằng nè chỉ xong muốn bỏ hay oh Hmong culture nhưng liên đó Hmong culture like domestic violence giống như cho divorce cho single parent single you know cho đây nè bây giờ muốn blame Hmong culture tan thọ nè mình Hmong culture play a role đó là mà cho tới individually thế nè tụi nên đó thế nè you know tụi nên individually bây hai tụi individually giống như đó bây giờ thì like cho case con họ lại xin đầu xinตัวนะtụi chỉ nên nó muốn tụi bên này tôi này bây giờ thì chỉ nên Hmong right bây giờ giờ John or giờ A giờ B whatever thế nào right because chỉ nên Hmong vẫn có hay giờ cái ý tụi like thì giờ chỉ nên Hmong những phải lên đó well first of all có thể chỉ nên Hmong thế second of all là những mua cho chỉ nên Hmong a father or brother that are not like that you know so có hai người đâu tan thôi chỉ nên Hmong lại so I want to be that's not with social media thế with it's everything mê chỉ thầu mua thì họ tới mình mê chỉ có mua hai chỉ lo hành à vậy chỉ họ I think họ that's not họ bây chỉ sử hậu họ bây phương mua cái chỉ trong bỏ đồ Hmong culture you know you thầu bây ôi trong chỉ bây take credit for it right individually bây take credit for it nè bây chỉ được Hmong culture nữa nè vậy bây thầu bây ôi chỉ bây mua bỏ đồ Hmong culture thì Hmong culture ôi Hmong culture nhưng ít từ trong đi nó lo cho chạy những đi nó bây thì li ôi đi nó no individually thế nè Hmong culture chỉ phải đó là you có you do la conduct là you had the có những more authority to twist to you know make it còn nữa hậu đâu chế năng đó họ budget còn nữa hậu đâu chế năng đó họ kiến chơi họ kiến nhẹ nè you can't just say oh no we can't no Hmong culture is that's why là nó cũng điều what's the one term that will that you would like to use for Hmong religion I'll always joke around like well if I'm have to pick one term I'll call Hmong religion flexibilism
Flexibilism yeah
because think about it Hmong so trong đi có một church like ở bên里có đại家樂Hmong里là lấy những cả right có Hmong có chừng tận sự cả là có ở những chỉ trong có một thảo chủ lấy những cả có một tàu temple Buddha là lấy những cả Hmong chỉ một họ thẹp một điều có họ nói gì có cho họ nói nữa nè là ý tôi nên mi cả Hmong tôi cho tôi hụt lấy tao nè you know yeah so ý cho kiến chứng mà you có watch tao đó có you chuẩn thành khó số rồi
I think the Hobbit we're more spiritual already
yeah we're about ancestor worshipper now we are about the not không có kiến chứng nữa it's about knowledge thế có preservation thế có prosper có continuation of có biết thoát tu nông nè có biết thoát go extinct instead of one belief that một biết like
separate or
một biết or có biết stop là yeah so
okay
yeah so that's one of my message I always thay biết cho generation there you know sometimes they do it address the elephant in the room right and because they're like because of có chỉ xả lý cú xả thế because of có speak có lúc mày up nữa it's offend cú chỉ support con là vậy thế cú anh thếแต่mình đâu có thế muốn có cho muốn có chế tạo nè I think Hmong community họแต่mình tại sao cú bỏ vậy không được
I love that I really do yeah Sifu Cheng thank you for joining us on the Hmong podcast okay